So now in our last example that we're going to be looking at, notice how there's a space for you to set up two different inequalities. So let's look at the question. And this question is a lot like our warm-up that we did. The owner of Fred's Fish Market orders cod and salmon. He wants to buy at least 50 pounds of fish, but cannot spend no more than $300. Cod is $4 per pound, and salmon is $7 per pound. So in this first thing we want to do is set up our variables, which has already been done for us. X represents our pounds of cod, Y represents our pounds of salmon. To help set up our inequalities, we want to look for totals. So at least 50 pounds of fish is a total. What does that mean? Well, he wants to buy at least 50 pounds, so he wants to buy 50 or more pounds. So that is going to be a greater than or equal to symbol. The next total is he cannot spend more than $300. All he has is $300 in his pocket. So the most amount of money he can spend is $300. So he can spend $300 or less. So we want to use a less than or equal to symbol. So how am I going to set up the remaining parts of the inequality? Well, cod is $4 and salmon is $7. So where am I going to put the 7 and the 4? Well, it only makes sense to go with the money because $300 is a dollar amount. So cod is X, salmon is Y. 4X plus 7Y is less than or equal to 300. So what goes here? There's no more numbers. Well, X represents our pounds of cod, Y represents our pounds of salmon. So X pounds of cod plus Y pounds of salmon has to be greater than or equal to 50. So there's our other inequality. Now that we've got them set up, we can find our X and Y intercepts. So I'm going to start with the first one. So for the first one, I have an X intercept of 50 and I have a Y intercept of 50. So I'm going to graph that, and I want to make sure too that I've got everything labeled. So my x-axis is pounds of cod. My y-axis is pounds of salmon. So if I have an x-intercept at 50, it's going to go here. If I have a y-intercept at 50, that goes here. It's going to be a solid line. And for right now, the only thing that I'm going to do is put arrows on the way I'm going to shade. We want to buy more than this, so we're greater. We're going to shade above this line. Now, to find the x and y intercept of the second inequality, so for our second inequality, I have an x-intercept, so 4x equals 300. 300 divided by 4 gives me an x-intercept at 75. Okay, to find the y-intercept, 7y equals 300. 300 divided by 7 gives me a y-intercept of 42.857, so about 42.9. So let's graph those. X-intercept at 75. Y-intercept, let's call it just 43. Again, solid line. And since this is a less than, we want to shade below. But because it's a system of inequalities, if you remember, our solution is the overlap. So where does the pink and the blue overlap? Well, that's right here in this area. So here is my solution. Anything that falls in this shaded green region is the solution. So now we're going to check and see what points fall there. So it says, which of the following are solutions? So is 4015 a solution? 4015 is right here. So yes, it is in the dark shaded green. So yes, it is a solution. What about 5018? 5018, that one, kind of hard to tell. Doesn't look like it's part of the solution, so let's check. Is 50 plus 18 greater than or equal to 50? The answer to that is yes. So it is a solution for the first one, but is 4 times 50 plus 7 times 18 less than or equal to 300? And the answer is no. That's $326, and that is not less than or equal to 300. So no, that one is not a solution. What about 3020? It appears that 3020 is a solution. 30 plus 20 is equal to 50. Is 4 times 30 plus 7 times 20 less than or equal to 300? And the answer is yes, because that is $260, and 260 is less than or equal to 300. So yes, this one is a solution. What about 55.8? Falls right there. So yes, it's a solution. 2035. 2035 is outside of the shaded region, so no, it is not a solution. So we have 3 solutions to the system of inequalities. So you should be able to set up an inequality to represent a situation, graph it, and then use the graph to help you identify solutions.